Welcome back, you're watching 9 News. Moving on to Asian news. A new monthly show focused on China will be launched by CNN, the first by any international television news network. The show on China, hosted by CNN correspondent and anchor Christy Liu Stouts, will provide audience a unique view of China. As China prepares for its most significant leadership transition in decades, the regular series is about the Chinese Communist Party, exploring factions within the party, how membership is obtained, and the personality traits of China's presumed next leader. The world is watching China more than ever, hence the new show delivering intelligence insight on its economic, political and cultural drivers will help viewers to better understand the country and its people. The first episode will be shot today in Hong Kong. Liu Stouts will sit down with thoughts and business leaders from within China's border for a roundtable discussion. According to China's Ministry of Commerce, China has decided to keep its 2030 non-state crude oil imports quota at 29.1 million tonnes, unchanged from this year. The crude imports quota will be given to non-state traders, but they will have to sell back the crude they import to the oil duopoly Sinopec and PetroChina. China, the world's second largest oil consumer, has also set its 2030 non-state imports quota at 16.2 million tonnes, the same as this year. As part of China's World Trade Organization commitments, China had been increasing the amounts of crude and refined fuels that non-state firms could import by 15% every year for a decade until 2011. But the market is still being dominated by powerful state oil firms, and tough requirements are set for private oil firms to enter the business. Japanese wireless service provider SoftBank is planning to announce a deal to acquire control of US carrier Sprint's Nextel Corporation. According to Reuters, the head of Japan SoftBank Corporation said its decision to take a stake of up to 70% in the US carrier Sprint's Nextel Corporation could make it a major player in the US mobile market. The deal between the two companies will be worth $20 billion, making it the biggest overseas buy for Japan. SoftBank founder and chief executive Masayoshi Son said at a news conference in Tokyo, "We must enter a new market, one with a different culture, and we must start again from zero after all we have built. But not taking this challenge would have been a bigger risk." The combination of SoftBank and Sprint will tie with AT&T for world's #3 mobile company by revenue, after China Mobile and Verizon. Now moving on to sports news. Auckland is in the unique position of hosting the grand final in the World Triathlon Championship this weekend, and the athletes and officials are impressed with the inner-city race layout.
Thousands of spectators are expected to line the streets of inner Auckland and the Viaduct this weekend to witness the world's very best athletes race for the title of World Triathlon Champion. It is this the last leg, the grand final, of a global event that takes place throughout the year in such world cities as Sydney, Madrid, San Diego and Yokohama. The quality of the men's and women's fields reads like a list of who's who in the sport, and it is a unique opportunity for Auckland and New Zealand to get behind it. Current men's leader and Olympic champion Jonathan Brownlee and #1 challenger Javier Gomez, besides others, will be there. Kiwi extreme athletes will give it all as they lay down the challenge and exploit the local conditions. In the women's event, Kiwi Andrea Hewitt is in second place overall, behind Aussie Erin Densham, and the majority of the top 10 women will be in town, working their bodies to a standstill.
All Black coach Steve Hansen's father suffered a stroke recently and has since passed away, so naturally he went to his father's side. But this has motivated his team to show greater resolve to ensure victory over the Aussies this weekend.
The Aussies will be playing at their favourite ground in Brisbane, but they have suffered a rash of terrible injuries that has totally depleted their team. The All Blacks have no injury worries at all, and given their dominance this season, the Aussies are certainly in for a hard time. And then there's the added motivation of giving their best for their coach, who is trying to deal with his father's death. The Aussies' Kiwi coach Robbie Deans is under real pressure after poor results during his reign, and now that explosive wing Digby Ione has withdrawn, he will be a worried man.
Chelsea went further ahead at the top of the Premier League table, while Manchester City moved into the second place with yet another victory.
Chelsea have been the front runners in the Premier League, and showed their skills again with an emphatic 4-1 win over Norwich, after Norwich surprisingly scored the first goal. All that did was energise Chelsea, who dominated the rest of the game. Manchester United went ahead of Everton on the table with a 3-0 victory over Sunderland after Everton were hurled to a draw by Wigan.
Now moving on to Happy Diner, introducing and reviewing favourite restaurants in Auckland.
First, spring onion, lemongrass are chopped and put aside. Then cuts are made into the sides of the fish before deep frying in the oil. In another wok, place crushed garlic, lemongrass, lemon juice and fish sauce and stir into a thick sauce. Then add fresh mushrooms and homemade roasted cashew nuts to mix together. Lastly, pour the sauce over the fried fish and it's ready to be served.
谁说香煎鱼它的口感就不是那么鲜呢？
Who said fried fish isn't as fresh? Not only does it have cashew nuts that kids love, the fish is also sprinkled with fried mince leaves, which brings out an amazing flavour. The highlights of the dish is the sauce. You'll find that it adds a whole new dimension to the flavours of the fish.
Pad Thai is a dish that can be seen everywhere in the streets of Thailand. Each restaurant may have different recipes, but the flavors always remain delicious. The Pad Thai that we are going to introduce you today is a creation combined with the chef's and the customer's taste. Let's take a look.
这一道法菜里面呢，融入了更多的蔬菜。
This Pad Thai has a lot of vegetables like green beans, tofu, baby corns and more. It's also a bit sweeter than normal Pad Thais in order to suit the local customers' tastes.
我们菜单上面只要看到有个小叶子。
If you see there's a green leaf on our menu, it means that the dish can be made into a vegetarian dish. Also, we can make almost all our dishes into non-spicy, mild, spicy and Thai spicy, which is very spicy.